Bismillah. Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning,
Or
everyone. My name is Surya Suharto, and I will be your host for today's session. Welcome to Weekend Tech Talk by EDN Boarding School Solo, where we explore technology and improve our English at the same time. I hope you are all doing great and feeling excited because today we have a very interesting topic to discuss. Before we begin, I would like to introduce our amazing speaker today. The name is Muhammad Alif Putra Eltama, who will share his knowledge and experience in technology. Please give a warm welcome to our speaker. Without further ado, I would like to invite Alif to start the session. The time is yours, sir.
okay, so in this occasion, I will show you guys to. But before tell you the main topic of this speak, I would like to introduce myself. So yeah, my name is Muhammad Putra Eltama, and I'm from 10 RPL, especially from EDN Boarding School Solo. So in this good occasion, I would like to show you guys about how to design properly, or even more specific is how to design roster properly in our modern era. But before getting to the part of the design, I would like to tell you the definition or the basic stuff you need to know before designing. So a lot of you guys may think that design is just designing, right? Like you just have to have a good element, good font, good color, or anything else. Well, in term of general, it is the basic things you will need to design. But in terms of the software or even the specific rules of design, you need to know some of them before designing poster. So I will begin with the most basic stuff you will actually need to start your design, which is choosing your proper software. In Here's 2026. Right now, we have so many software to design. Let's start from the popular one and the most dominating one in the global market, which is the Adobe software. Why I say it is dominating right now? Because all of the professional editor, especially from video editor, 3D editor, or even poster editor, or even the logo designer, using the software because of their most flexibility on on any feature that they actually advise to us. So in Adobe software, we could actually find more than one software. If you like to edit a video, you could choose After Effects or Primary. If you want to edit a photo or even make a poster or even making logo, you can choose Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, and lastly, Adobe Lightroom. There's also many things that related with Adobe since it nearly spread all of the specific degrees or even the specific things we need in our daily life. So if you are a design, it has its own software, and if you are a video editor, it has its own software. Beginning to the next software I will recommend to you, since it's my workflow to learn design properly, which is a Canva. Why I say Canva? Because right now Canva actually advises many things and many features compared to 2 years ago, while Canva is still growing up and it just have some kind of poster design or even the basic stuff of design. But right now, you can actually find many things in Canva, especially if you are video editor or even 3D editor, mockup editor. There's many extension or many apps and features you could use right now. Not only that, recently Canva just pop or just make one of their biggest innovation in design, especially in poster design, which is Affinity. What is Affinity? Affinity is a software similar to Photoshop, but it is really free and it has the same feature of Canva while still adding many features like Photoshop. So in the Affinity, you can actually make similar design to Photoshop, but even more easier because I forgot to explain before that Photoshop is difficult to use for you as a beginner. And why Affinity is very good since it's very easy to use and it has and cover many kind of feature. Beginning to the next software I would recommend to you guys is a Figma. Why I say a Figma? because not because it is very not very it is very popular, guys. And not like that, you can actually design more than two posters in just one file. Imagine if you have multi words and you are too lazy to change a tab, you could actually make a one design in Figma, and later on, if you want to add another design, you can actually add things like a frame. What is frame? So I will explain this later, because our main topic right now is tutorial poster design with the Figma. So our main topic right now is a Figma, but I will show you the next software which I will recommend to you guys if you still want to use it. So it is not very good, especially in poster design, since I generally I have never used these apps anymore or this software anymore. So this app I will recommend to you guys is Pixel Lab, IBIS Pen, and also Inkscape. Why I don't recommend it to you guys? Because its software is not as good as the software I've said before. If you really want to give a try, or even if you want to try the apps by yourself, you can actually download it up in your PC. Now, beginning to the basic stuff of design. So a lot of you guys may think that design is just searching for good element, good font, or even good color, right? It is, and it is not actually wrong, because in design we could actually find of these general things to improve our design. But many people have some misunderstanding about design, especially in the role itself. So if you didn't know before that design actually have some specific rule about it, and today I will show you one by one what's the most important rule in design, especially for the color, for the visual, or even for the text or the font itself. So I will begin with the most basic one. So right here we start with the poster, right? So in poster we have some specific rule. For example, like visual hierarchy, or even font pick, or even the color balance. So I will show you guys with the visual first. So in poster design, yeah, if you see in my screen right now, so there's a lot of visual hook you can actually use here. What is visual hook itself? So visual hooks actually describe what kind of visual you want to show to your client in your poster. It is important because some kind of poster without visual hierarchy will go mess up just like this. Okay, since I didn't make it to show you guys the example, maybe I will show you guys from my friend's perspective about how to how visual hierarchy really affect on our design. So I will just wait this to reconnect and try it again, and I will show you what is my friend reason word and why I really want to criticize it, because it is not really good for this design, in my opinion. So if you know, guys, if you are searching up for poster or even anything similar to that, actually poster really have some many style. Let's take a sample like a retro style. So actually poster don't really depend on visual hierarchy. If you have some kind of, how to say, like or your own style. If we see something like retro design, there's many elements, right, where you want to really express it, your opinion, or you really want to describe what kind of things you want to show in your poster. So I don't really blame you guys to have your own style, because back again, designing poster is not about your favorite or your the best looking out in the people perspective, but what makes it really enjoy you to design it is the key of why all of the designer really enjoy their works, because not only getting money from their client, or not only getting some kind of respect from the client, they also enjoy their words because it is the, the things that they want to describe their feelings, actually held in their mind. So that's it. Why poster design actually have some many perspective. So right here, if you see in this kind of book cover right here, it just really mess up, right? I will explain it one by one. So the first one, you need to know that it is not really good in terms of the visual hierarchy. You want to explain your poster, but there's so many elements in it. So if you want to describe it one by one, you actually need to read it, which is making the person or the client that read the poster in the first sight will be confused because how can there's many elements in it without showing any meaning or even any kind of things that they want. So if you see in this poster, there's so many text, unbalanced color, and even unbalanced style. So you guys need to know that each poster have their own style, not just like this. You will be ruin your design first, and people will face your design really really bad because of this. So how to design it properly is you can actually see on your style first. If you want to make a poster or even some kind of design, you need to know what style are you using for your poster. For example, here's my design of my recent semester book design. So right here, I use both typography design because it is really easy to manage, right? And not only that, if you see in this pictures, you can actually find both typography design, and if you see in this design or even the other design, it is just very simple, but yet it is better than the design I showed you before. See, if you like to compare it with my design right here, it's just very beyond my, is it just beyond behind my design, right? And if you guys see, you might think that my design is slightly more better than him, but it's not his fault because he's still learning about design, and maybe in the future he will actually surprise me. So after after you decide or if after you consider about your posture style, let's move into the next, which is the color. Why I say color is important is because if you see in here, there's actually one, two, three, four, five, more than five color, which make the design inconsistent, and it make the client hard to read or understand the meaning of the design. Comparing to my design right here, I actually just use two color or even three if you count this element. So why I use three color in my design? Not only because it makes the people or the client understand our style easier, it actually make your words more consistent and make your words more better. So if you see in this poster, you could actually see that there's no mess up, right? You can see the header of the design, the logo of my design, title, or even the element I would like to show you guys. It's just the key of design. Say, but did you know, guys? It is just the basic. So in a further way, you could actually maximize it into a better way. So in there, I will just explain the basic stuff I will like to know or I know before and how I practice it in my daily works. After you decide what color you will actually have for your design, I would recommend using three to two color in your design because yeah, it's just very consistent, and back again, it depends on your kind of style. If you see something like retro style or even style that have so many elements, you can see like here there's many colors. Like I don't blame you if you are using more than three or two colors, but I recommend you guys to use three to two colors because it's easier to manage and it will make your design more consistent. after you choose what kind of color you actually want, you will actually need the type of font you actually want. So back again, fonts is really depends on your style actually. If you want a bold typography, you will need to know about how you can how you could choose and bold font to use in your design. So back again, when you are using some kind of design, there's so many font you will actually need to use. So you can actually search for your favorite combination of the font, and later on you can actually adapt it with your own style. So after you choose all of the font or the font combination, because in in design we actually use more than one font to make our design more interesting. But even with that, there's also a rule where you can actually have more and with more than three font or two font. I recommend you guys to use two or three fonts because it's easier to manage and it will make your design a lot more consistent. And beginning to the next part is you can actually see in this design. If you see there's so many font up to four design, right? So in this design you can actually see right here there's so many font that been used in this design and it makes the design inconsistent comparing to my design. Like here you can actually see that I use only three to two fonts because it's easier to manage and it makes my design a lot more consistent. Beginning to the next part of the design is just finding what kind of, after you find what kind of color, what kind of style, or what kind of fonts you actually want, you can actually see the visual hierarchy, or we call it the visual hooks. So in these visual hooks, people will actually find a good visual for their client. So their client will not confused to find what kind of things you will actually describe in your design. So after you decide all of that, you could start making poster right here. So in this occasion up, I will show you how do I make my poster, turn on how I manage to upload it in my social media. So right now there's so many trends that showing you their words for kind of portfolio or even something similar to that. So in this occasion, I would like to make you guys some kind of inspiring Muslim slim posture in Instagram post. So the first one you actually need is you need to open your Figma first. So what I have said before that Figma is one of the software I currently use right now because it's easier to manage your file in it. So if you guys see right here, or if you guys have seen before that there's so many elements I could make in one time in Figma. Not only that, if you're confused about so many elements you have make in Figma, you could actually make more page about your design and continue it in the next page. So you make a after you log in Figma, you will be showing the UI like this, right? So after you open up Figma, you can actually start creating new file. At here, I will choose the design since our main goal right now is to create a design. So after you create the design part or the design workspace, you could actually start making poster by making frame first. So what is a frame? So in general term, if you want to make some kind of paint or even some kind of drawing, you will actually need a canvas or even drawing book, right? So in Figma, drawing book or canvas is similar to frame. So you will actually manage your design right here. What I've said before, after you make a frame, you need to find the basic things you will actually need to apply in your design, which is your main style. So in here, I will use the bold typography design since it's easier to manage. So after you find your style, like you actually need to find your color first. After that, you can actually start by making a font. So right here, I will just copy my this design and amplified it into my personal design. You can actually follow these steps if you want, but it's okay if you didn't follow it. So after you decide what kind of color you actually want, t- you can actually manage it easier right here, like this. So if you are confused about how many colors will you use, you can actually just make it right here. So it will map what color will you use in the future and what kind of style you will use in your design. Okay. After you decide what kind of color and what kind of style you will use for design, you could actually start designing, starting from the text or the main thing you will actually need to describe your feeling in your poster. So in this, I will show you guys how to make inspiring thing Muslim poster. You could actually listen up by right here. After you decide what kind of style if you want, you could actually make it up right here. Okay, so there's so many things you need to learn first in the Figma. You will, you guys will not adapt it very fast, right? So if you want to resize or your font or your element, you can actually simply click on K like this, and it will scale your design without ruining it. What if you don't use K? It will only increase the hitbox of your design. Getting to the next part is yes, you need to choose what font you're using for your design. Since I'm using the bold typography design, I will use the bold font to apply it in my design. Okay, I forgot to make your design a lot more consistent. You could actually have a rule in your design like this. How to show it up? You could actually just click on Shift R or Control R. But in my settings, I set it to the Shift R to manage my rules. After you done making this font up, you can actually start designing to the next part. Since I will not amplify all the explanation before, I will just get to the main point of this design. So after you make the typography and other else, you can actually start designing right now and follow the exact same style as I explained before. After that, after you make all of this, you can actually make more interesting and in design with so many with what as I explained before. So in design, you will actually need more than one visual, right? If you didn't understand yet. So in this context, I will use subheader to make my design more interesting. Okay, and after since we have run out of the time, uh, we have I have explained all of that before. So I'm sorry if I can't practice how to make posture properly because in this occasion we've been running out of time and going to the next part or the conclusion phase of design. So design is not an easy thing. You actually need to I want to say master it. You can actually start it with your own hobby. So at the first time I'm designing, I'm not really good comparing to my friend. So what I do to increase my design is just a lot of practice. And not only that, I also sometimes ask people in social media, and I will make them criticize my design. And after that, like to I would like to give them what is their advice that they can help to improve my design. So design is just not about designing for yourself. It's about how client actually see what kind of feelings you want to describe in your posture. Have so for you guys, if you have start designing, please be consistent in your style and don't forget to mention all of the rule I've said before. And for you that have new in design, please have a lot of more practice because I actually start with very bad design, even more bad than him. But I have a lot of practice and I really learn from what my is from what my latest design is. So after I learn out of that I amplified it to my style and it makes me very good, or you could say intermediate in terms of design. And did you know, guys, that designing is just not about making the client have fun or making money. It is about how you can actually describe your feeling in terms of posture or even the art design. And that's it. I can explain for today. Thank you for listening in to my section and back again with our host, Mr. Arla.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. We have come to the end of today's session. On behalf of the committee, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to Alif for the insightful and inspiring presentation, and also thank you to all participants for your attention and enthusiasm throughout the session. We hope that today's session has given you new knowledge and motivation to keep learning technology and keep improving your English. My name is Kafra Suharto. As your host, I would like to apologize for any mistakes during the session. See you then in the next weekend tech talk. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wabarakatuh.
Bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Surya and I will be your host for today's session. Welcome to Weekend Tech Talk by EDN Boarding School Solo, where we explore technology and improve our English at the same time. I hope you are all doing great and feeling excited because today we have a very interesting topic to discuss. Before we begin, I would like to introduce our amazing speaker today. The name is Muhammad Alif Putra Eltama, who will share his knowledge and experience in technology. Please give a warm welcome to our speaker. Without further ado, I would like to invite Alif to start the session. The time is yours, sir.
Okay, so in this occasion, I will show you guys to. But before tell you the main topic of this week, I would like to introduce myself. So yeah, my name is Muhammad Putra Eltama, and I'm from 10 RPL, especially from EDN Boarding School Solo. So in this good occasion, I would like to show you guys about how to design properly, or even more specific is how to design roster properly in our modern era. But before getting to the part of the design, I would like to tell you the definition or